Metaverse. How we doing today? Actually, I don't see us live yet.
No, it's got like 15-20 second delay, so we gotta wait a minute.
Bear with. Oh, I just got a message that we are live now.
Where'd the message go to?
My browser.
Uh-oh, you might be live in a different place.
Let's see. Can you all see us at the moment? Give us a comment in the chat if you can. All right. Ricky says we are live. That's good. He's
Where
ahead
are
of
you?
us in his time
Where
zone
are we live?
apparently.
You're live twice.
Okay. Well, twice is better than none, which is where we were at before. We were getting rugged before on the software. Very
Because it
good.
says you're live twice on the channel, but I still can't get it to load for myself. But
Yep. Well, Ricky, we trust you at the moment, so very good. Scoriox, how we doing? We are here live with the Dutch auction for Civitas running at the moment.
yeah, I'm excited to see how this plays out. I'm not convinced it's gonna sell out. Whether or not I get myself one, I'm planning on it, but I'm not convinced again. But you know what? I'm excited for this game nonetheless. And I think they're going to sell out eventually and all the rest of it. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of the high mint price. I know that you got to do what you got to do, but if the market conditions aren't right, I'd rather just wait rather than try and force it. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's really where my head's at with that. At the same time, Dutch auction really you should be letting the market decide.
Mm-hmm.
Even like setting a resting price, it doesn't actually create any FOMO. There's this obviously it probably wouldn't work that way, but there's this thing in my head that says if you tell everyone's resting price is 0.3, then everyone's going to wait for 0.3. But
Yeah.
if you don't set a resting price at all, maybe everyone jumps in at 0.5. You know what I mean? Like obviously that wasn't going to happen in the current conditions, but
Mm-hmm.
in general, I feel like that's a more powerful incentive. Sorry, my eyes are really watery. They'll fix themselves soon, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Ricky. All right. Ricky just messaged us that 14 people are in the other stream. Oh, how's it? So you've got so Ricky, you're getting a solo show here apparently.
I
Yeah.
found the one that's live. It's not the
Okay.
stream one, it's the other one. I'll
Uh,
post a link.
okay. Perfect. And we will let them know.
Maybe you can go on the scheduled one, change it
Mm-hmm.
to redirect to this one, and then end it on YouTube.
Honestly, if you can put the link in, let's just send everyone to the correct one.
I did, but I think some people are busy and stuff.
It didn't. I don't have the link yet. If you put it in Scoriox,
I
you
sent it
just
in.
have live is here now, but there's no link.
Oh, I tried to send it. Maybe it's blocked. Here, let me send it in the private chat. You can send it.
Okay. Yeah. Put it in.
Oh, one sec.
All right. Very good. All right, CJN and Ricky, these are absolutely two of my OG followers. So yeah, I know you guys are subscribed. I got to hit the bell to get the best content. So let us see. Good. All right, I see other people coming in and joining us now. I think very good. Well, yeah, to your point, Jason, I think we've got a number of community members that are starting to get more involved. So, as you pointed out, I think we were at just about 100 minted earlier, um, and where are we at? 223 right now. So
Oh yeah.
each 30 minutes, it looks like we're shaving off another hundredth of an ETH from the mint price. So definitely expect it to pick up a little bit here towards the end. And I know a lot of people have whitelists for this thing too, right? We've got let's see, total about 3,600 in the Dutch auction. I think there's about 800 or so that are in the whitelist phase. So I expect most of those to get minted out as well in the next bit here. So I
But
will.
the whitelist can't mint until 12 hours after the Dutch auction, right?
That's correct. Yep. Yeah. So we can see here we're we're about an hour and 45 minutes from the end of the Dutch auction phase. But overall, I do think that numbers aren't that surprising in this kind of market. Overall, the big question is, are we going to see a big run here at the end? And I think we might. I think we're going to see a number of people that want to make sure that they get in and can snag some of the interesting achievements from this phase. Uh, Frobe, good question. I do plan to buy live on stream here. I've got work in a little bit, and so I'll be getting mine now. I have one of the OG 400 shaman, and so definitely want to mint one. There's a couple of the very interesting achievements that I want to make sure I capture. So in here. The first one that's interesting to me is this twin. So not a great chance, but 10 out of 250 is certainly better than nothing. Given that definitely plan to mint a couple here in the Dutch auction and the whitelist phase. And then you've got some of the others that are first 1500 mint wallets. Um, and then for those for those that have one of the original shaman, there's the hodler achievement, which is if you mint and you have one of the original NFTs, you can get a limited edition building when the game launches. So definitely want that. I will be heavily focused on developing my land plot during Civitas as soon as it's out. So that's something that I definitely don't want to miss.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about the Chosens is they give you the whitelist for the land. I mean, giving you free land would have been pretty neat. I only say that because they're expensive. I think whitelist for land is really really cool, but I still think point 0.3 ETH is really expensive. So if they were like 0.1 or 0.15, then I would have been a bit more happy about the whitelist for land. But maybe they can put in like a discount and whitelist for land, which would be pretty neat. I'd be pretty happy with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but maybe a little bit of a pivot in the strategy is in the cards. I'm actually pretty eager to mint because I'm on a lucky streak at the moment. I haven't really mentioned this much, but I'm on a huge lucky streak. I minted a Taunt Battle Worlds character, and it's like probably like one of like equal top rarest ones that they have in their ecosystem,
Mm-hmm.
with like two or three others. So
Yeah.
it's about as rare as you're going to get. Um, and I minted quite a few mongrels, and I managed to get the Joker one of one,
Mm-hmm.
which people seem to really like. So
Yeah.
I get I super lucky streak at the moment. I've nailed my last two mints on the head. So maybe I get one of the rare chosen. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of hyping it up for myself, but that'd be pretty neat. Have they revealed the
Yeah.
unrevealed ones? If we see things that have minted, shouldn't we be able to see it, or they're not revealed?
I don't think they're revealed yet. Let me we,
But
we
what
can
if
go
someone
over and
minted?
check.
What if someone minted one? It would show it, wouldn't it?
Let's see. I think they've got it just the unrevealed logo at the moment.
Oh,
Pretty sure.
oh,
Yeah, but I mean the good news is we do know the general artwork from I think from five of them at the moment. Will the whitelist
mhm.
spots qualify? So Ricky, that's a great question. The whitelist spots qualify for some of the achievements. So look at the achievement, and if it specifically says the words Dutch auction, then whitelist does not count. If it does not say Dutch auction or just says minted, then whitelist counts. So this is the the clearest way I can tell you. So yeah, good. Loner says we've seen all 6 characters. I've missed one of them. Then I've got 5 of them here and ready for us for today, to share on the stream. But maybe you can help me with the link for the 6th one, guys, while we're on here. So I've
Mm.
got Zola, I've got Swang, I've got Baltair, I've got Ninsiku, um, and then I've got the Maryland droid. But I'm missing the 6th. So yeah, so
So,
if you've got the link for the 6th one, that would be much appreciated too.
so do you know anything about what the different characters do in the game or anything like that, or has that yet to been revealed?
So, from a utility standpoint, we don't have details on what their specific traits or abilities are going to be. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Lone, if you can send us the link for the
Mm.
Maryland robot, that'd be great. Um, so, for instance, they've given examples like Ninsiku is the shaman. He might give you advantages for wood crafting or production, mining, something like that. Something that's probably more focused on the ancient era, from a tech standpoint.
Mm.
Um, and obviously someone who's more futuristic, like the ninja. Actually, I don't have the ninja, the cyberpunk, art. They haven't put that up in the press kit yet. So if someone's got the Maryland or the cyberpunk reveal trailers, shoot them over to me. You can DM them in Discord or whatever, and I'll pull them up. But in general, uh, we do know that they're going to have unique characteristics that any future versions of the characters are not going to have, right? So it's kind of a one-off. You get Ninsiku, and he's got very specific traits and abilities that no other chosen is ever going to have.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how they play in the game. The other big question I have for you, I'm throwing them straight out of the park here, because this one's just been come back to me again. Can you tell me more about Ever Crystals? Now, I half paid attention to the video
Mm-hmm.
they released. Honestly, I probably should have watched it more properly, but I was doing some other stuff. I think I was at work when they dropped it. Sometimes when I'm at work, when people drop things, I kind of listen to it passively while I'm working and things,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't pay as much attention as I should sometimes. Um, can you? So they're going to be airdropped to people with Chosen. Is that like every day, every week, every month, and kind of what do they do? I know that they're used to create your land or something like that. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's a good question. So the chosen are going to be airdropped the ever fragments, and it seems like it's going to be roughly, I would say roughly once a month. I think I saw in one of the posts, in terms of the benefits of holding a chosen. Let me see if I can grab that one for us too. That it'll be monthly airdrops of the ever fragments. Once you combine the ever fragments, they're going to give you shards that you can use to improve your land. So there's two different ways that happens. Um, the first one is that if you use one of these shards before your land is minted, it's going to buff the number of resources on your lands. It sounds like there's different tiers. So maybe if you combine 3 ever fragments, you get like a standard tier. If you combine 5 or 10 or something, it might be even more substantial.
Has it has
Okay.
it has it been revealed how else people will be able to acquire these ever fragments after everything's said and done?
So as far as we know, the only way that you can acquire them at the moment is from holding chosen. A number of frags, CJ, they've said a few shards, and they have not been committal on the number. But again, it sounds like there's different variations and levels that you can have. So,
Mm.
so bear with. So let's talk the artwork for just a second here. I think I've got most of the teaser videos here. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna run through the characters real quick for anyone that hasn't seen them. I'm gonna turn the audio off on these. So the first one, actually, we should do this in order. Let's do let's do Ninsiku. OG, he's got to get his credit for it. So this is the shaman. He's the one that I think most of you have probably seen if you're familiar with the current versions that are out on OpenSea. There's a bunch of different variations. Some of them have masked and unmasked, different staffs, different different clothing and so forth. So pretty cool. I am definitely attached to mine. He's not one of the rarest ones, but I actually like the visuals on him.
Yeah,
We'll
the
jump.
art style is wild.
Yeah, we'll jump
I
over
really like
next
it.
to Zola. So this is her. This is her. Yeah, her reveal trailer. I think. Pretty slick. I have to say they did a nice job with the artwork and with the reveal trailers here. Um,
Mm.
I have a little bit of alpha here. It's only going to be by a day or so, but I did have a good discussion with Kent about some of the lore and the characters. Each of the chosen has a different background, which is not going to be a surprise to anyone. But some of them are going to have meaningfully different story arcs that play into how their character actually works within the game. So definitely looking forward to seeing some of that. I think the lore is one of the things that's going to make these characters really pop and come to life. All right, let's see. Voltaire is here. He's actually, I think, the one of the newest ones released. Bear with me. Let me try not to rug us on the video here.
Stop throwing around the word rug. Rug is such a scary term in crypto. It's terrifying. I don't think I've actually been rugged before. Oh
Really?
wait, no, wait. I held a shit
All right,
coin once.
hang on. Voltaire does not want to play for us. Let's see. All right, I think I got Queen Swang up here.
Your internet is not having it.
Maybe. Oh, there we go.
Oh, this is nice. Ricky Stapp.
Yeah.
That's it. You couldn't actually see them.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the nice parts. These reveal trailers are pretty good. You got some different versions of the artwork on the back end, for sure. So this was the reveal trailer, and thanks to Monty for sending this over to us. Yeah, kill the volume on it. This guy, I have to say, I think this guy is going to be my favorite, or definitely one of the favorites that's out now.
Even I've seen this one.
There you go. You see? Did you see the last one there, Scoriox, right here?
Yeah, I don't like the mask that much.
Lizard person, man. We got a shout out to the ETH lizards in here with the artwork. Like it.
No, I don't like him. I like the other ones better. I don't mind him
Yeah.
with the cyborg guy, but nah, I prefer the other
You
ones.
don't like the cyborg guy, or you do?
I don't mind him with the cyborg guy.
Yeah. I like that one.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think we've got some good options here. And then yeah, I'll see if I can pull up the last couple. But we'll drop that off. So let me share the current status though. So again, we're approaching the end, and so I do expect us to see some more minting here late. A number of people may be holding off until the end of the window. Let's see. So yeah, so let's talk. Actually, why don't we do this? Just because I don't have FOMO per se, but I want to go ahead and get myself squared away here. So I'm going to go ahead and run my mint live. Scorex, I don't know if you're doing whitelist or something maybe later on, but I'll
I'll
go
do
ahead
whitelist.
and
I'll do whitelist
so
tomorrow. I don't think I'll grab the mint live.
yeah, okay, very good. So all right, is everyone having FOMO at the moment that you're going to miss the achievement if I increase this too much? No, we're just going to go with one for now. But definitely, yeah, definitely looking forward. I don't know if there's a reveal animation or something on here. I guess we'll see. So
I thought you were gonna mint 20 for a second.
yeah. One per wallet. Let's see. That's not a bad gas fee at all. $1.
Wait 30 seconds. Lowen's got your back.
Lowen's got me covered here. What is he hitting up the tip jar?
No, he's
Good
telling you. He's
question.
telling you to wait till the drop to 0.31. He thought you were going to mint
Oh,
0.32.
oh, I lost point. Okay, well, I didn't. Yeah, that's what happens when you do it live. You're not paying as much attention to everything. But all right,
Did you-
it is minted. I got a confirmation from EtherScan.
Wait, did you mint it at 0.32?
No, I think it went at 0.31. Yeah, let me go over and check.
We couldn't see MetaMask pop up. Otherwise, would have told you to stop.
Let's see. All right, we're getting other notifications from folks. TSG. All right, TSG. Hang on, I'll get you on the stream. Let's see. All right, TSG, get up here. You're gonna mint live as well. Here we go. Very good. Yeah. So we talked a little bit about the fragments. Scoriox, I think we had a couple other things we wanted to touch base on. So utility, we know in general the types of things they're going to have, but what are some things that are interesting for you as a 4X player in the past? What are some of the perks or advantages that you think with a cooperative 4X you might be interested in?
You know what? I'm most excited for the diplomacy, right?
Mm, okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's something we haven't really. It's probably like exclusive to 4X. I can't think
Mm-hmm.
of any genres that have politics and diplomacy in their game or whatever, right? Um, and I like the idea that they're doing this really interesting sub DAO structure for your 4X team or civilization or whatever else. So I like the idea that they're using the DAO structure, which has probably become one of the staples of blockchain technology's usefulness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're using that structure within the game itself. So I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge fan, having no friends growing up. I've never been a huge fan of games that rely on having friends to play.
Mm.
But no, I think it's necessary to be in a group of people and things like that. And I think Web3 is welcoming enough that you can always find someone that you want to team up with and buddy up with and things like that. So I'm excited to see that forward. Yeah, the only downside of this game really is it's not really targeted towards younger age brackets,
Mm.
which is obviously any edge for a gaming project, right?
Yeah.
Um, but that's okay. I mean, neither is most 4X games aren't really, but some of them aren't too
Mm-hmm.
bad. But I'm talking
Yeah.
like this one's so far beyond. You're talking like maybe 23 or 24 plus, whereas Civilization might be like 16 plus sort of a thing, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
you're missing a large segment of the market there. But I don't know. Maybe it'll appeal to the younger audiences. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's definitely going to be appeal to a variety of different types of gamers. This is one of the big advantages with having such a wide spanning world, right? You're going to have people that want to play that are super focused on upgrading their land and
Mm.
developing, running through the the tech tree and everything. You have other players that are really focused on, like, maybe like you, Scorex, the diplomacy and the interrelationships and backstabbing and working with other cities and so on. You're going to see people that are really focused on like the AR elements and the open world geolocation activities and so on, and mini games. So I think it's exciting because they've got a pretty accessible platform here. So
Yeah.
yeah, so you can see the unrevealed are here, and I
hmm.
this is the one I just minted. So I did overpay. So Kent and Monty, George, enjoy that extra 0.01 ETH because I wasn't paying attention. My bad. But our audience here was trying to watch out for me.
All right, yo, I'm
Um,
legitimately moving funds right now so I can mint some.
there's actually a game I played a long time ago, and I would still be playing it right now if I had the time to. Called Vela. Yeah, it was on the phone. It was
Mhm.
called Vela. It's one of
Yeah.
my favorite games I've ever played. Right? It was very simple actually. They simplified not Clash of Clans. You know Travian.
Hmm.
There's lots of Travian clones, and maybe Travian was probably a clone or something else. There's a lot of those sorts of games. They simplified that down and sped it
Hmm.
up, and it made for a really, really fun game where
Yeah.
you would start off a new city every time you enter the world, and matches or the games itself would normally take about 2 weeks.
Hmm.
The first 3 to 4 days, everyone would build up as fast as they possibly could. Wars would start hitting around the fourth day. You'd have to join a guild, or someone would just destroy you, take your city, and you're out of the
Yeah.
game. You got to start all over again, and things like that. But you like join a guild, and then you're getting like different chat rooms and things. You're just like, yeah, defend this guy. And you have like, but it was really, really interesting because some really funny stuff happened where people started having spies and things like that.
Mm.
People would make alternate accounts, and one account would be on one guild, and another account would be on another guild. But they'd have one they're focusing on. Then
Yeah.
they'd read all the chats, and you'd have to weed out the spies out of your chat rooms and things, and try and
Yeah.
get rid of them because if they could see what your plans were, you're like, oh, everyone attack this person at 6 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll knock them out. It's really hard to defend something
Hmm.
like that, but you got spies there; they're all setting to vend, and you can set up like a huge trap and just destroy your opponents and things.
Yeah.
It's just
You
I
know that.
hope that level of diplomacy and that level of long term strategy plays into Civitas because that would be really really fun.
Mhm.
I would love it so much.
Yeah, yeah. I think it will definitely exist. Uh, when you've got this many players, the one challenge to some degree there is it's a little bit harder to join one of the city sub DAOs than in some other games where you just create an account or create a new
Yeah.
character. You do have to own one of the land plots. But again, I mean, it's going to absolutely be hyper competitive, and we're gonna see people that grab a cheap land plot just to be in the sub DAO of one of these cities so that they can hear what's going on, maybe for sabotage purposes, maybe just to get favorable advantages in terms of trade deals and so on.
Mm.
Ricky, we actually are probably going to have more than one sub DAO. I'm pretty confident for ETH Lizards. The number of players is going to far exceed the number of people that you can have in a city, especially at start. So the first months in a given city, it's only likely for you to have one or 2 dozen players, I expect. So they've said dozens, not hundreds of players in the cities to begin. And as you scale up over time, you're going to get new land plots that are added.
Yeah, see what I'd be keen on. I don't know what the earning structure looks like, but if we ignore that there is one, I would have been keen on like minting like 100,000 lands,
Mhm.
or even like 1 million or 2 million lands if you could get that many players, because I think the bigger your game gets, I mean, obviously you need the servers to hold it, but the bigger your game gets, the more interesting and the more fun it gets. Like
Yeah.
if your sub DAOs are massive, and the ability to like vote out people and stuff would be pretty important because you don't want like 70 dead people, like dead accounts in your sub DAO,
Mhm.
because then your votes are really really behaving differently. I do hope they have those sorts of structures in place, but I would have liked to see it go as large as they possibly could. But it sounds like they're not going to have too many lands, but they'll expand later on, I'm sure.
Yeah, and so I don't think it's a question of the number of lands. What Kent and the team have said is they want it to be a more connected group of players, where if you have 200, 250 people, 1,000 people in your city, you're not really connected to more than a handful of them in any meaningful way. And so the idea, I think, is more think like a raid type of group in an MMO where you've got 30, 40, 50, maybe up to 100 people that are all pretty well invested. They know each other. They're working together. So I would say, that's probably more what we're likely to see. That said, we've got another special guest who may be able to give us direct insights on it. Monty, welcome to the stream.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can.
This is not my familiar streaming setup. Being in the office,
oh my
I
God.
don't have my nice mic and all this stuff.
You're the guy from the video.
This is the Monty from the Hype video. Yeah, welcome. Nice to have you.
But I'm here as the founder of Montysburg, as you have noticed. Not as part of the team. Yeah, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we're looking forward to going to war with you from Lizard Island. No, no. In general, I think it's great. And TSG, I don't know if I told you welcome or not. We just brought you on and you started eating. So
yeah, I apologize. I've just gone meetings to meetings. I try to put the funds through. I've got the funds waiting now. I'm legit just eating. But no, excited to be here, man. I'm legit not going to pull an Annie. I'm going to wait and keep an eye. I'm going to try to get it as low as I can. But I'm excited. Annie kind of sold me on. I kind of heard about Civitas for quite a while now, obviously being in the lizards and everything like that. But I just read Frobe's comment. Kieran doesn't feed me. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't. He does not. But no, I'm so excited. Yeah, Annie sold me on the whole concept of Civitas, and I was like, I had to look at the characters. Absolutely, man. I need to get myself some. I went from like, nah, I think I'll skip out on it to, I think I'll get one. And then I had to chat with Annie. I think I might get two. And I feel like if I stay here too long, I might go to three. But I'm going to try and control myself. So, yeah. No, I'm excited. Appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Monty, yeah, thanks so much for hosting this and having us on. It's been a pleasure to listen. And the only thing I have to say, you have to have the music slide with the character videos, because that's all custom made by our audio department. It's just makes the whole thing come together. It's been part of the process.
Yeah, I agree. I have to say, I was just worried about the audio on the live stream not working well. But anyone that's watching, definitely go check out the reveal videos with the audio on. It is really good.
Yeah. So Monty, I have to ask. All right, now give it to me straight. How far away are we from playing like an alpha or a beta or something?
Sooner than I think most people expect. Let's just put it that way. I mean, obviously, there's a 2023 timeline on it in what we're doing, but things are happening fast, and 2023 is coming fast actually. But it won't be long until we at least share with you some more stuff from within the game. And I mean, I think that speaks volumes. Just the fact that the characters that you just viewed, that's in-engine footage. That's not a 3D studio. Hey, can you make us a trailer or something like that? It's just proper in-engine stuff done here in the office. So that sort of shows you how far along. It is. So maybe just not disclosed to give a date right now. That's probably the problem. But
can you kind of say first half, second half next year? Give us something.
Yeah, I mean, I think even before that, you will see at least footage from it, and getting in probably early enough. Wait, there's somebody here. It's the other guy from the videos.
It is the other guy from the videos. He's real too.
And as you can see from our beards, we've been working pretty hard. There's not been time to shave.
So what does that say about Scoriox and TSG? You guys got to work a little bit harder, I guess.
They just have.
I keep a stubble.
Yeah, you can't be in Iceland and not throw this look.
Yeah,
come on. It's
it's part of the uniform. It's part of the nationality.
Definitely.
I didn't get in time to have a chance at the. I'm not sure. Is it Vikinger? Is that how you pronounce the?
Good enough. It's Vikinger.
Okay, that wasn't very good then on my side.
Yeah, it was.
Say it one more time.
Vikinger.
Vikinger. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't
I
get a
guess you
shot
can
at that.
guess what it means.
Yeah. Guess what it means.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know what it means.
Is it mean a Viking?
You are a smart fellow.
And he knows. That's what we do.
I've said this multiple
Nice.
times. Annie is a genius.
Yeah, we've noticed.
Oh, good. So guys, let's talk a little bit about, well, and Monty, it's not going to be speculation. So maybe we got to leave you off of this next question. So from the chosen that we see, any that you want, Scoriox or TSG, that you want to speculate what their actual in-game mechanics would be. So again, we know that it can buff like production or different different aspects of diplomacy or trade and so on. Any of those 6 characters that we've revealed that you want to throw a guess out at?
I reckon the
okay.
cyborg one's got something to do with tech research, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zola the warrior definitely, again, like actual like warfare or like military, right? Has to be. Because she's like, yeah, tribal and like a warrior. Again, she has warrior in her name. So it's not a stretch. It's not a stretch. And what about so I think Queen Suyo.
Yeah, Queen.
That might be something diplomatic, like political diplomatic.
I thought something like that. Maybe advantages in negotiations or diplomacy with other sub-DAOs, something like that. But
that's what I think.
Monty's over here laughing. He's like,
she did
like,
have some lore coming out. Apparently, she just does not handle things lightly. Issues get handled. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Yeah.
So Monty, what's your speculation, man, on some of these characters? Can you speculate with us?
Oh yeah, I've been thinking so much about this, and it's I've only got the wild theories, obviously, but no, it's going to be very interesting when we can go out with the details of these things, and obviously with like you were saying, the broad spectrum of characters, ranging these eras and time and everything like that. I mean, like the latest release, M42111, and you might get some ideas if you just sort of think about it a bit.
So Monty, I want to ask if you can share. I'm going to call them the ascended version. Maybe there's a different way. There, you got the rarer types of the characters. So like Ninsiku, you've got the enlightened version. Is there like one version is going to be maybe more general and the other one is more specific between the 2 character types? Is it just they're just different? They have different mechanics between them.
Yeah, they will have some diversity in the utility and the mechanics towards them. Obviously, one being usually at least more rare than the other. However, I don't think people should be too afraid about which type they get. Obviously, there's also Civitas spans times, different eras, different times. Different things will be needed at different times, creating this ever moving, and that's why this idea of actually having the characters, rentable in a way towards other players is going to be very interesting. And we've been putting out all these sort of hypothetical uses where I need something. And you have an abundance of it because you have such a strong character helping you build that, or your land was extra good there. So you can utilize your character, your chosen, in another way within the game, simply by getting the general token or something like that. So that's a very interesting prospect, I think, and a very good reason also for why you'd want to. Why it might not even be a problem for you, moving forward in the game, which chosen you have.
Yeah, I want to actually draw a parallel here because I really like that mechanic with the renting of the chosen. It's very similar structurally to Illuvium lands, and most of our audience is going to be familiar with that. I think there's a pretty heavy crossover in community members that are familiar with Illuvium. So in Illuvium lands, you've got folks that are invested in those land plots, because it allows you to generate fuel and blueprints and sell those and use those back into the main game, essentially to be able to fund your playing of the overworld and the arena and so on. I actually see it very similarly. If you want to be free to play, great, no problem. You don't have to buy a Chosen. You can still play all of the game mechanics and everything. But if you want to spend more and you want to be more heavily invested in the game, you can get one of the Chosen. And when you're not using it, you can rent it out to other people. You can get your city tokens back. You can use those then to fund whatever else you're doing in the game ecosystem. So I actually see a lot of similarities between the Chosen and the land plots in Illuvium Zero. It's not identical, but I think functionally it's a similar concept. And I think this also is a good way to both provide value to folks that buy and hold and are using those assets, and also allow you to have eventual growth within the gaming ecosystem, because you don't have to have those. But even if you want to, let's say over time, you're going to have hundreds of thousands and millions of players, you need to have a mechanic that allows you to still be able to use the Chosen, even if you aren't one of the 100,000 people or 200,000 people that bought one of the Chosen. You need to be able to use them in some meaningful way.
I think you also touched on one thing which I feel has not been maybe discussed enough, and that's the natural, or like the organic onboarding tool that the DAO system brings. And are you guys MMO players, by the way?
Are we which players?
MMO players.
Yes.
Like in general.
A little bit.
Okay. Anyone here played EVE Online?
Yes.
Okay.
Very briefly.
How years.
Far?
Yeah.
Several years. Okay. So I played EVE basically as a kid. I think I started playing it like 13 or 14. It was 1 year in, and it's 20 years now since it was launched.
Okay.
And I remember this first day of playing EVE, by accident, I ran into an Icelandic guy. So we shared the language and we start talking. This guy onboards me into his corporation. He sets me up. He helps me get going. And it's a small corp, but they all valued from getting me in there. So they valued from actually helping me progress in the game. And this is something the sub-DAO system creates. And this is something that I think having the background of the team here from EVE, from RuneScape, from these MMOs, where the system is actually incentivized to help. It incentivizes the senior players or the higher ups in the DAOs to actually onboard the new players, and this creates a beautiful ecosystem. The renting or the lending or however you do with the Chosen is one of these things, and eventually goes around and comes back. And if this can become and will, because this is simply part of the design, be a driving factor in the first sort of hours or days of play for people, this is the perfect way to create a community within the space. And I'm just so excited to actually see a project in Web3 that utilizes this.
Yeah. I think cooperative modes is something that we haven't seen a lot of. And when I consider the projects that I'm really following, there's a lot of single player mechanics. Vast majority of them are single player, and there's also a fair number that have sort of PvP elements baked into it. So most of the competition that you're getting is against other players, or just PvE type of mechanics. I haven't really seen too many, to be honest, that are trying a cooperative mode of some kind. And I think part of the reason, and maybe interested in y'all's takes, is that it's much more complex to build a system like that. And when you introduce real world value and ownership, it becomes even more complex, and you've got to be really careful about those levers. So I don't know, Scoriox, TSG, any other projects that you guys are following that have a true co-op mode?
No,
not that I'm aware of. No,
I don't think there is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like Thalon and Azra. I would say maybe two projects that have like cooperative modes. Like Thalon, for instance, you got an RTS. You're gonna have 4v4, but like that's I think gonna be intra match, right? So you're playing, you know, in that match with other players against someone else, but it's not really like a guild setup of any kind. Azra, I think, is a little bit more TBD. They may have some, you know, some mechanics where you know, you can band together with other players as you're working it to build out your characters. But I really can't think of too many that have multiplayer co-op built in.
No, I mean it's bound to happen. There's going to be more. Obviously, it's one of the biggest parts of gaming, and but you know, moving back to this mechanic of actual this system, every single talk you hear is, I know, in Web3 gaming is how do we move Web2 gamers into Web3.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends in Web3 in Civitas, he can help you progress. I mean, obviously, the number one thing that just needs to happen is that enough games come out that are fun enough, so people, you know, just why are you playing this game? I need to get it. That's obviously number one. But if there is a way to help that you actually, you know, grow on your own by helping others grow, then that has to be the perfect. And you know, what every project says they're about community, they're about all these things. Bingo, there you have it. You know, there you have the onboarding tool. So that's going to be a very, very interesting factor moving forward.
Yeah, for me personally, that was the thing. That's you again. I'm a recent convert into Civitas, and I think that was the thing that sold me. It's a cooperative kind of thing. It's like I see Kieran posting about it. Yo, who wants to be in the Illuvium? Or like offering to start that Illuvium guild. I see Dick on board, and it's again like what you just said. It's like that fear of missing out. It's like, yo, I want to play with these guys. Like these guys are my homies. I want to play with them. So of course, and again, like the fact that it's a fun, like genre of game, like the 4X, like civilization game. Again, like what Scoriox said, man, I remember when I didn't, it's going to be hard now because obviously we're busy, but like I remember when I didn't have anything to do, me and my homies would just play for days, man. A campaign would take days, like legitimately like 12 hours every day for like a week. And it'd just be like, yo, that was the fun. It'd be like, all right, I'm coming over your house today. Cool, 12 hours. Yo, so let's get together tomorrow at 10 o'clock. It's like, that was the fun of it. So I think the cooperative play is super important, like you say, and I'm super glad you guys are doing it. And I'm so appreciative that I found out of what you guys are building. So I'm glad to be a part of this.
Yeah, I remember that time myself, making sure the computer didn't turn off during the night so our server didn't go off.
Yeah, craziness. Yeah.
Actually, just on that, I do want to touch on something that's just come to my mind, is because I remember those days too. I didn't do it so much when I was young. I didn't play 4X until I was maybe 20. So I didn't do it so much in the LAN sense, and I would have loved to. But the other side of it is they were highly replayable because you always started off differently. Me and my friends would always play random civs and stuff when we played Civilization. You'd always start on different places on the map. You'd have different resources to choose from and things like that. Obviously, with buying your land and being stuck in the same sub-DAO indefinitely, potentially, and things like that, how are you guys kind of tackling the ways to refresh a player's state of mind in the game, if that makes sense?
Yeah, this has been touched on quite a lot, and I'm probably the worst person within the company to actually answer that. But what we actually have, and this is a very a known concern that needs to that's always highly addressed in everything design wise, is that you always have to keep the player entertained. Obviously, you have to leave him with new stuff. You have to make sure that the direction that they're moving is actually evolving. It's doing something. And like I mentioned, a lot of our team comes from EVE Online. That game just hit 20 years. That's the people that we're leaning on to help us make sure that this is always in line. So yeah, that's definitely something that's on the cards. Obviously, with this being a bit of an evolution race, you will be faced with new things as your DAO or city evolves in time. So I get where you're coming from, but the difference here and like Civilization, something like that, is that you don't start over. You move forward, and if that means moving cities or moving DAOs or whatever, that's just part of it. That happens all the time. So yeah, this is it's definitely a concern, making sure that you don't need to do the same things over and over. I recently started playing a huge third-person MMO, like many other people in the world did, and that was exactly what happened to me. I thought it was awesome. Then in a few days, I realized I was doing the same thing again and again and again. It just was level 14 now, but not level 3. And this is something that we need to make sure, and is highly is very high in all the design documents that are around everything we're doing, basically.
I think one of the Civ expansions actually did was they added natural disasters.
Yeah.
And these were really, really fun to play around because you could have like an enemy civilization nearby and it would all of a sudden flood. And you're like, okay, his army is crippled, his city is crippled.
Yeah.
Do I wage war? But then also a bunch of diplomatic stuff appears where they can just get like an influx of money from everyone else for helping them out rebuild their city.
And they get points for being charitable and shit like that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so much. It's so fascinating, so much fun. I'd like to see as many real world events as you can manage in the game. Obviously, with real world money, things like this become harder. But I like the idea of building a living, breathing world, which I think is what you guys are working on, especially with your augmented reality stuff. So maybe combining the two in some way. Maybe you've done a lot of mini games in a city, and all of a sudden that city in reality floods. Although you don't really want to hit them with a real flood and a fake flood at the same time. Maybe if their real city floods, then their fake city actually enters a drought or something. That'd be interesting. I don't know.
Well, let's just put it this way. My house is around 9 kilometers away from an active volcano that's thrown at me 40,000 earthquakes in the past year. So
this is top of mind for you.
This is very top of mind. And yeah, that's definitely something that's within these, within it's there's space for that within the design. For sure.
Yo, someone in the comments just said, honestly, the fact that I can't see what I minted doesn't make me want to mint more. Do you guys disagree with that? I find it fun, right? I don't know. I like the reveal. I like the whole NFT reveal thing, but maybe I'm like an actual degen. But I like the fact that
a loot box opens when you buy it. I don't mind like everyone reveals at once kind of thing too much. But in this case, I think it would have been interesting to see them reveal on the spot.
What was the decision behind that?
Good question. I think I really can't chime too much in on that. But I think the main reason would simply be because you don't want the market turning with the characters while it's still active. So that instead of especially when the utility and these things aren't out, so there is not a sort of fixed value there. It's all still a bit, what do people think? And if there's too much speculation going on during the mint, I think that would hurt everybody buying, to be honest. So yeah, get in and then let the games begin afterwards.
When is the reveal? Have we covered that yet?
Yeah, there's a schedule. So they won't all be revealed at the same time either. So there will be some hype, some more lore and things like that coming out. And we have not released the schedule of which character will be released. Obviously, we have that. But it's all part of the engagement and marketing and everything like that. So stay tuned for some more content and when each of the archetypes actually gets revealed.
So crazy. So they won't all be revealed at the same time. So for example, let's say like once the mint is done, once this Dutch auction and the mint is done, we'll say like all the shamans will be revealed first, and then is that what you mean?
One archetype per time. Yeah.
So the people that don't have the ones that don't have it revealed will kind of know that it's one of the remaining archetypes.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of going and going. Do you guys have a time frame that you could share? Sorry. Do you have like a time frame?
This is a few weeks, yeah.
Okay.
But this happens because in Iceland we have 13 Santa Clauses, not just one. They come on 13 days, so we're all used to this being drawn out and being excited.
I think it's interesting. I've never seen it before. I'm always down for anything I've never seen before.
I think from all perspectives, everything that's happening within this space is new. There's no book on how you do these things. So,
Did you play Pegaxi? That didn't feel very new.
well,
There's difference between new and good, right?
yeah. Basically what I'm saying is that I don't think the space has defined yet what are right and what are the wrong ways of doing things. And just by doing, if we would all just do the same, it would just get boring quick. So let's continue doing new things, trying new things, and some don't like it, others will like it. You will never make a decision that everybody's happy with.
Yeah, I'm very bullish on any of the teams that are actively trying to implement the Web3 elements and new mechanics in a way that makes sense for them uniquely. See a lot of I'm going to say just kind of roll out the same playbook as we saw in 2020, 2021, and slap NFTs on whatever some reskin version of a common Web2 game is, and call it a day, and or add Ponzi tokenomics on the back end and just say, well, you can earn now, so therefore you should go play this game. Not very interested in that, but I do see a number. I mean, I would say a couple dozen different teams that are trying to do something really unique. Not all of them are going to work, but we're going to see a lot of learning in the space in a good sense, where some of these ideas that work well are going to be able to be applied. I had the discussion with Kent about the land sale here for Civitas, about how do you manage to make sure if I've got a bunch of ETH lizards or TSG, you mentioned Kieran, you got a bunch of Illuvium folks that are wanting to get a single sub DAO within a city, how do you manage that? And I was able to point him to a couple projects that actually have done something similar with their land mints in a way that I thought worked reasonably well that you could adopt. And so in some cases, it's not recreating the wheel every time, but looking for good ways to do things that you're going to benefit from with your play style, your structure.
Yeah, and I think also touching on that, for sure now the opportunity arises soon to also create a platform for the DAOs to start forming officially, not just. I mean, we already have a few Discord servers. I've been crawling them. I love looking at what's happening and people speculating, and I would so want to chime in like, yeah, what you're doing is completely right, or something like that. But for sure, these for the DAOs to form, and then for them to be able to go in together, that is something of high importance. And the also obviously it's an MMO. So what we need to do is that we need to make sure that we don't give out too much information, because half of the excitement is actually finding it out. Remember World of Warcraft and think games like that. Once the boss had been won, there was just a wiki out, and you could just read it. You just go in and do that. So, for instance, now we have the ever fragments and crystals, which have been on the roadmap for a while and do play a huge part in the game. You definitely want to have a DAO to figure out together what's the best strategy there. Yeah. So we will be working towards getting people in a position to start doing these things, start researching. And then is a question: are the DAOs talking together? Are they sharing? Are they going, no, we're at war with everybody. This is our information. If you want it, you pay us. It's all these things. It's all part of it. So this is for instance, when I saw the ETH Lizards thing kick off, just knowing that you will have a certain amount of fragments of various types at some point before land, that's going to be a thing worth something.
Yeah. All right. Yo, I appreciate. I apologize for that, man. That steak was delicious. But yeah. Yo. So what with this mint? What should I mint it live? Like, should I share my screen and then mint it? Like, what do we do here?
Yeah, share your screen, because if you're about to come up on a 30-minute window, at least we can warn you verbally before you click the mint button if it's going to drop.
We are at 0.3 now.
So we're at 0.3. Yeah. Okay, all right. So you're there. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not too stressed out.
And it's numbers definitely going up. We're at 447 at the moment, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, this is the territory where things start moving fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll keep an eye on, see if it goes down one more. I don't know. I'm just gonna try and see if it goes down one more time. But
Is it
yo,
minting?
me showing,
Is it minting faster at the moment?
Yeah.
yeah, me showing this wallet address at the top, like it doesn't mean anything, right?
Oh, I'm stealing all your crypto. No.
I mean, yo, it's a
I mean-
banner wallet, so
No.
Yeah, there's actually also. Yeah, we are at the
bottom.
bottom price of
Yeah.
the Dutch auction right now. So yeah,
oh,
this is
we're at the bottom price.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay.
the last
So this,
final hour bottom price. So yeah, it's this is the time to go in if people have been hanging on to it.
all right. Look, I'll wait till like the last minute. I don't know. If Annie needs to go, then I'll do it sooner. But
No, I'm
you
good
you
on
don't want
time.
to wait
Well,
for the last minute because there's still a chance to get a few
yes, some of the
achievements.
achievements are
yeah.
are closing in on being capped out.
Yeah,
here.
actually, I'm being an idiot, man. I'll just get one now. I'm so
And
stupid.
these achievements
One
will
person
be
minted
on
like
the-
20.
They will be on the NFT, like as a trait, a claimable trait.
Mm.
Oh,
So
sick.
it will just show up as claimed or unclaimed.
Yeah, the twin one, right? The twin achievement's a good one. TSG gives you a chance to get one of the OG Ninsikus, the shaman.
Yeah, that's sick.
Airdrop.
That's sick. Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the luckiest of people, so chances are I won't get that. But I mean, it is. Yeah. I look. I'll mint it now. I'll mint it now. Live mint, guys. I'm actually putting my money where my mouth is. Yeah, I'm gonna move that one away.
So disclaimer, I think everyone on here knows none of this is financial advice. Don't FOMO in, don't jump in after TSG and I unless you've made the decision on your own to join the project. But you know,
this is absolutely me just being a complete degen. Like this is not financial advice at all.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Scoriox, we'll pull that up in a second here. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I've just put that through. Yo, I love the gas is like not crazy.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons why we wanted to do the Dutch auction over such a long period. Obviously, it's a way for the community to decide the price, where they want to come in, and at the same time, it can create a bit of a time frame, so there's not too much overload at some point. Like an instant sale can create.
Yeah.
I think Dutch auction is the way forward. Sorry, Annie.
No, it's all good. Yeah, the gas cost was good. I think it was $1.30 or something for me. I guess I can go back and look on stream. But
mine's a bit more than that. But all right, sick. I got 880. Let's go. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I like that's a good number. Eight is a good number.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that's what I got.
There it is.
Yeah, my gas fee was 109.
Yeah, crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Does it? We can't see anything about it here. Hey.
No.
Not yet. Yeah, cool. But there you go. Yeah, I'm involved, guys. I'm gonna message Dick right now. Tell him that I'm in.
Yep. All right.
You guys are giving me FOMO.
All right, Scoriox, we got you live now. What are we looking at? We're looking at.
So I have a platform that I use called Mintify, and you can see stats for different things. It looks like it's one of the top trending things at the moment, in a sense, where you've had about 40 mints in the past 5 minutes, 15 unique, so it's about 3-1 at the moment. We can also jump over and we can actually see the mints. It doesn't auto refresh. I thought they made most things on this site auto refresh, so I don't know what's happened here, but it's not auto refreshing at the moment. But you can see that there's quite a few mints happening at the moment, which is really good to see. I didn't think it would mint this quick, to be honest. So I'm excited to see how it plays out. Maybe it'll all mint out. Probably not, but you'll get 1,000, which is really, really good. So for sure.
So Scoriox, didn't you say that you were gonna drop $100,000 or some shit on this?
I've never ever had 100,000 on my name, and you know that.
You're just saying that. We can all see the chair and the bed. And all these
man.
things.
My guy living in luxury out here.
Those are not free.
Blockchain,
Those glasses alone are like 30K.
Oh shit.
The YouTube cast is flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thor.
Yeah,
It's a good
you
question.
pretty much made the 100,000 in like the 24-hour live stream alone, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah. Yeah, Thor, it's a
Just
good
does wanna
question on secondary. I have to be honest though, I'm a really, really shit short-term trader, and so you don't want to ask for my speculation on reselling, trading, and so on.
Hmm.
I suspect in general most folks that are buying in now are really they're here for the project probably and not here for price appreciation. I could be wrong. I don't know. Scoriox, TSG, your thoughts?
I think it's gonna dip, but they normally just talking about my experience in the markets. They normally dip after reveals and things like that as well, so it might hold up
Always.
okay. All I know for sure is if the floor does drop down like 0.2 or so, I'd probably get myself a second chosen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting for now.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I've told
If
Andy
it
that's my
drops,
plan.
good for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yo. Anyway, guys, I have to bounce. I appreciate you having me on, Annie. I'm glad that I was able to make that mint on like live. So appreciate it, Monty. Appreciate the shit you do, man. Scoriox, love you. Peace out, guys. Peace.
Take care, man. Yeah. Yeah. Oscar, Matt. So this is a good question for those that haven't seen the details. The Chosen is a single character collection. So all of the Chosen, whether it's the original Shaman and Siku or any of these 6 characters that are being minted now through the Dutch auction, the whitelist, the public sale, secondary sales afterwards, they're all part of that same collection. The goal is for Civitas to have that one Chosen collection that runs throughout the duration of the game. And so you'll always be able to see all of those characters at one time in a single collection. It would become very complex if you were to try and have 20 or 30 collections that were all separated because they were different character sets years down the road. So I think it's the right design decision here.
Do we want to bring up the leak that was in that video to talk to Monty about quickly?
Yeah,
Did I leak something?
yeah. If you've got it, yep.
I want to point
Yeah.
one thing out while you're doing that.
Sure.
Because people are asking like when should we mint, etc. So we're at resting price now. This is where the public sale would be and everything. So if you decided on going in and getting one, this is the time because there are still 40 wallets that can be entered into like one of the major achievements. So rather than waiting 2 days or something like that to buy in a public sale, this would be the moment.
Yep. No, it's a fair point. Yeah. So Scoriox, yeah, you want to let's chat about the leak from the video from the Monty video, right? This is the Monty video.
I don't remember that.
So you don't remember this shot?
Yeah, okay, sure. Keep your guesses going. I'm trying to be vague here, guys. Come on.
It's been all the rage. So what are we looking at here? Can you explain kind of how this fits into the game, or you're not really allowed to?
We're looking at somebody city building, basically.
On their land?
Yeah, but not the final look of the land, obviously.
Yeah.
No,
do they arrange all the buildings and everything themselves and build it up to what it needs to be, or is some of this pre-planted?
No, you build up your. It's part of the strategy is your city building skill. So this is something that has been is being built there. Yeah.
Yeah, I do love the art style though. I must give you guys credit on that. I think you've gone for something truly unique, and in a game where playing it over the course of several years is a big part of the takeaway. Definitely having an artistic style that doesn't get dated in 6 months.
Timeless art style.
The right decision.
Yeah,
it's pretty. It is unique, and when I don't know if you've seen the video that we made with Auskir, our art director, a meet the team video where he was going through the design phases, and it's something that I wanna touch up on again. And I don't want to do it in a sit down video. I want to do it either in a podcast or like somewhere where I can chain him to a chair for a couple of hours and just get all the stuff going, because he was telling me about stuff, and afterwards he kept telling me about stuff that he it started a conversation between us that's just blown my mind in how these ultra talented creative minds work. And he was telling me stories from back when he was doing art for Eve, and how the junior concept artist kept getting asked questions about what everything on the ship does, because if it doesn't have a purpose, it shouldn't be there. So they had to be, artists coming up with stories. Oh no, this event is for nuclear waste release or something like that. And everything he does, he like has a story about every single component, and why is the shirt torn, what happened, how, what's this scar from. And for instance, if you've got the video still open, the background that we're using, I mean, it's blurred out and everything like that, but that's part of the land concept art. That's closer to what the land actually is. And the next time he does something like that, I'm getting him to screen record it so that we can just put up a 6-hour nice music, things happening, and we all feel good, because it's insane to watch these guys work. It's just reminds me how untalented I am.
Well,
no, you need the face of the project.
Yeah,
I think it's an interesting point, and I want to mention the the concept of exactly what you just described, where everything should have a purpose. And if you're building something in the in the world, the lore, the environment, it needs to make sense and it needs to be fully fleshed out. I actually I think it was Brooks from Nor that he shared a story with me at one point, that he was on Avatar, and James Cameron was talking to one of the artists, and in a scene he had done a shot like of a bird cage or something, and he was like, "Well, now you've got to create a bird." And the guy was like, "What?" He said, "Well, if you've got a bird cage, there has to be a bird, because otherwise, why is there a bird cage? And so you need to figure out how this fits into the framework of the story, the lore, the environment. Otherwise, why do you have this in the scene?" And it was just a really, I thought, interesting vignette into how a lot of builders think, because you need to have a compelling and an interconnected world, but so much so that if you've got wasted effort that's going to build something that has no meaning, why are you bothering to spend the time to put it in there?
Yeah, and the effort that goes in doing it this way is worth it, because it brings out things that are special, unique. Touching on that, one of the available traits through, or like one of the achievements through the mint now, is a physical art book that is being made on the side, and the reason for it is simply there's so much concept art and there's so much detail. Remember that every single character is a 3D modeled character. There is a 3D model behind every single NFT out there, and so the amount of work that goes into just one, this is easy to say, and for people that haven't been in the within a project like this, or within a development of this, they don't understand. But I mean, you mentioned Avatar, just creating one creature that took months for one team. So when he asked for that bird, that cost him a couple of $1 million, something like that.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
But they made most of it back. They did pretty well. But so this book, it's well over 100 pages only on these 6 characters, and it's not like one image per page or anything like that. There's just so much everywhere, and I look forward to sharing that stuff with you. It's I need to send you guys over a copy. It's insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There's I gotta go in a minute, but like there's something about the birdcage and the bird, but sometimes you can actually leave gaps in the story. You have to think about it, but sometimes you can leave gaps in the story for other people to make up. This is what Pokemon did a lot in their early days. They created characters and things that seemed out of place, but you start to piece everything together, and maybe it was intentional, maybe it wasn't. But you can build your own theories really easily because they built a cohesive world really, really well. And that was really powerful. So if you had a bird cage, you wouldn't necessarily need a bird, but you would need something else in the scene, or you would need something else at some point in the movie that kind of shows that a bird was here. Maybe the bird cage is open when you look at it another time, and maybe there's feathers in there of different vibrant colors, and the colors match some of the other creatures in the world in some way. And now you can start to speculate. You'd be like, is it a descendant of these things? Did it come before these things? Does it cohabitate? Is it one of its young? Maybe its young has feathers, that sort of thing. Like you don't necessarily have to design the creature itself and build the model and everything, but you need to design the story around the bird cage, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And understand it and be able to sort of answer, even though it's just to yourself, like you were saying, why is it there? What is it? And this is going to happen so many times, and that's why we just have a big, diverse team. Obviously, whenever these projects go out, we talk about, we got this that's been working on all of these things and everything. But what's happening so beautifully here is that we have that mixed with young talent. So there's a class of worlds sometimes where young talent challenges experience, and they come to some beautiful middle ground that creates something. So that's I feel something that should also they should also be getting a big shout out, because it's not just a question of experience, it's also a question of creativity and talent.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, I better head off. I've got a lot more work to do tonight, and it's like 11:30.
Yeah, I'm going to be the same. So we'll be wrapping this up here in a minute. So yeah, Monty, anything else from the team side? Just a general note, we got just a handful of potentially the twin achievements that are left, and we're about 35 minutes to go, give or take, in the auction before it wraps up.
No, I think just from my end, just thank you so much for doing this, and everybody that's and that's a shout out to everybody that's been in the community for a while. From us, it's just all joy. We've got this project running up. We got a community building. We're getting the first things on the market. We're proving that we are we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're making this stuff. We're delivering on these things, and moving forward, there's just going to be so much more that we can share. There's no intention in any other way from this team than to be part of scoping the Web3 gaming space long term. That's why we made some of these amazing hires. If you look through the CVs of the stuff, of the people, check out these Meet the Teams, because they're also fun. We try to make them fun. And I think that all of us that are here today and for the last few months and moving forward, those that are actually brave enough to do something when it's not just like you were saying earlier, a market where money just flows at anything that moves. That's going to be the projects that really stand out in a couple of years. So I look forward to be standing with them there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we are as a community really excited to see what comes next. We a lot of the content, I think, in the last let's call it month or so that's dropped has been welcome to see, and obviously there's a lot that's come out. There's a lot more that's coming, I know, and can't wait to be here for it. So thanks for all of our audience members that joined. A lot of you were in the chat, which we appreciate. Think definitely, if you're here, give us a like or subscribe to my channel, to Scoriox's channel. I'll throw links in there, and obviously, if you're here, you probably already know where Civitas is, but if not, we'll put the links in the description for you to find out. And depending on the timing, if you're interested, there may still be the auction going on, or the whitelist or public mint. So we will see you all in Civitas.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a good one, guys.
Take care, everyone.